Okay, let's try this again. We're gonna make some pizza dough. We've got a family gathering. Let me get my chat going on here in case anybody wants to talk. Dun, dun, dun. Give me just a second. YouTube Studio. Dun, dun, dun. Live button. Later. Back. Oh boy, this is complicated. Ah, here we go. Waiting for more mobile stream. Ah, got it. There it is. We got our chat. Okay. All right. So, anyways, we're gonna make some pizza dough for the family this weekend. And let's see, capture moments as they happen. No. Okay. So, this is an easy recipe. We can do this quick and easy with no mixer. So we're just gonna take a nice big Tupperware, and then we're gonna zero it out on the scale. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, 0. And we're gonna go 500 grams of flour. Okay. Oh damn, it's on ounces, which I forgot how to do ounces. I just lived in Tokyo for the past, I don't know how long. We'll switch over here. And grams. There we go. We gotta zero it out. Okay, so now we're gonna do our 500 grams of flour. 64. And then we'll set it aside. Boom, perfect. So there's 500 grams. We're gonna do two large sheet pizzas, so I'll set that aside. Repeat the process, zero it out. 500 more grams. Close enough, $4.99, close enough. Okay, we'll put that away. So now we got our two things of flour here. Next, we're gonna work on our water. So we use baker percentages to do pizza dough because it is baking, right? So we're gonna go with an 80% hydration because this is a pan dough. So 500 grams times 80% would be 400 grams of water. Okay, so now we're gonna do our water here. Zero it out. Perfect. So this one will be 400 grams. Oh, stay put. Danger. And this is warm water, not hot, just warm, because I want to wake the yeast up. So very easy. Oh, we got some people saying hi. Hi, hello. If you're from Tokyo, please let me know who you are, because I want to say hello to you. Zero it out. Okay, all right. So now our second water is done, and we're good on the scale. We're gonna get this out of the way. Okay, and we'll do, oh, I forgot what was what. Okay, that's extra. All right, so 2 waters, 2 flours. Now we are going to what it's called blooming your yeast, and we're gonna do 1 tablespoon for each one of these waters. So yeast into the warm water, another one of yeast into the warm water. I like to use a lot of yeast. And then I'm gonna give the yeast something to eat, which is just a basic honey. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of honey. I like to just do 1 equal parts, so 1 tablespoon yeast, 1 tablespoon honey, and then in the dry, we're gonna put our 1 tablespoon of salt. We don't want the salt getting near this yeast water because it'll kill the yeast, so they won't really bloom so much. Okay, so that's 1. Sorry, I've got a dog barking. Who is that? Is it you, Coco? Okay. This is so much easier than editing videos. Okay, I'll just get this stirred in here a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. All right, I'm just gonna rinse this spoon out real quick. Oh, that's okay, I don't mind the dog. Coco, who are you barking at? Okay, so yeast is blooming in our waters here. And now we're gonna bring our flour back. By the way, this is bread flour, which I prefer because it's high in protein, and it'll develop more gluten structures after everything comes together. Oh, namaste gift shop, yo yo. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of salt. I love fine kosher sea salt. It's kind of perfect in this recipe. So there's one of the doughs. And then another, whoa, a little bit too much, but that's all right. I'll put some of the extra in this other one. Okay, that's it. 4 ingredients: flour, salt, yeast, and honey, oh, and of course water. So 5 ingredients. Okay, so now we can combine these. I don't really need to bloom this. I mean, I don't need to wait to see bubbles on this yeast because I know it's fresh. I just opened it. But this is an important tip. If you ever use yeast like this, dry yeast, yeah. After you open it, it goes in the fridge. If you put this in a warm cupboard, it will die, and the next time you use it, it won't work. But in the fridge, it'll keep for months. Okay. Okay. So now this yeast is already blooming. It might be hard to show you guys. Oh, I'm looking in my lap. Yeah, maybe you can see some of the fuzzy bubbles there. So it's already blooming. 1738. Hard style. I don't know what 1738 is, but I'm curious. So now I'm just mixing this salt into the flour, and I'll make like a little well, and then the water is going to go right in. And then I'll use this spatula just to give it a little mix. This should be easy to mix because it's a high, 80% is a high hydration. If you're gonna make like a New York style, like a circle kind of drier crust, then you'll want to use 70% hydration. So 500 grams of flour would be 500 times 7 would be 350 grams of water. So this is coming together. You can kind of see it. Ooh. Yeah. I'm not going to go crazy with mixing this because we're going to do something that's called auto lease, which is basically meaning, you mix it to you combine it, and then you just let it sit, and then you mix it again. That way you're just kind of letting time do some of the work for you. So that's incorporated well. Just get this off the spatula. And it's nice and warm. It's not hot. It's not hot because that'll kill the yeast, but it's warm. So we're just gonna set that there. Let me put a lid on it so it doesn't dry out. And 20 minutes later, we'll mix it again. And then the second batch, let's mix this salt into the flour because we want to kind of buffer it. There we go. And oh yeah, yeast is already getting real foamy, so we know it's going to be good. That's it. Okay, mix it up. These two pizzas, we're going to attempt to feed like 20 people on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. We also have like wings and salads, so pizza's not the only guest. We're gonna do one margarita pizza, and then we're gonna do one pepperoni pizza. And of course, maybe it's easier to just order this from your local pizza place, but this is gonna be really fresh. And we're gonna ferment this dough. It's going to sit in the fridge. So leave it, after this, we're gonna leave it on the counter for 1 hour to kind of proof at room temperature. And then it'll go in the refrigerator for like 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. I forget what that is in Fahrenheit. Yeah, so it'll be 48 hours in the refrigerator at 3 to 4 degrees. Okay, so this is basically mixed. Most of the dry stuff's done. Okay, and I'm gonna put a lid on this, let it auto lease, and then we kind of rinse our hands, our equipment, and we'll wipe down this table, and then we're gonna give it like a bench, what's called like a bench fold, which is just a really basic need. So be right back here. Put that up. 1, 2, let me just rinse my hands. Okay. Now, you want to be really obsessed about your counters because, it picks up hair and stuff like that. You just don't want anything in your dough that you have to like pick out later. So, put that there. Oh, technically, I guess there's a 6th ingredient in this, which is going to be olive oil. So we'll show you that. We'll show you where the olive oil comes in a second here. Just want to clean this counter. Okay. What's up, Poocher? Let me see, maybe I can show you my assistant here. Want to say hi? Hi, puppy. I'd pet you, but then I gotta wash my hands again. Okay. Let's see, back to here. Oh, you guys came too? You guys want to say hi? Okay, these guys want to say hi too. Hi, puppies. This is Bella Blue. Oh, Willow Blue. Coco. And this is Coco. Come here, Coco. Coco's my favorite. Oh, Coco. Okay. No touching dogs while we need dough. That's a big no-no. Okay. All right. Hopefully that's okay. All right, so now I got my olive oil ready for kind of like the last step, which is after we need. Okay, so now we kind of have this. Well, let me open my laptop in case anybody wants to chat. So now we got this kind of shaggy dough that I'm gonna pour onto the counter. This is gonna be really hard to handle too because it's kind of wet and it like wants to stick to your fingers, especially after we get kneading this. But we'll show you how to deal with that because I've got some tricks for that. Just okay. This is the secret to dealing with a sticky, difficult dough. These are called like board knives, chef's knife, board knife, or a scraper. Okay, so let me see if you guys can, I'm gonna tilt this a little bit. All right. Now, if I start messing with this with dry hands, it's really gonna stick to my hands. So I'm going to dip my fingers in some water, like that. Now it's not so bad. And I take my scraper, and I'm just kind of gonna start folding it around. And this is incorporating any leftover dry powder, like that you see here. And we're kind of stretching it. We don't want to tear it, but we stretch it. These are called like stretch and folds. See, it's really hard, but you can kind of lift it up like that, slap it down, do it sideways. And each time you do this, it's giving it strength. You'll notice it getting stronger. And then it'll eventually kind of start coming off in one piece. It's a little tricky at first, but you get the hang of this. Every time I do that, it's getting stronger. It's kind of folding in half, and it's forming. It's kind of forming a like rubber bands of gluten in the dough. Getting some residual on the counter, I just scrape that back into it. If I wasn't doing this on video, I'd already be done. But it slows it down a little bit when you're stopping to check the camera and all that stuff. And show off your dogs. Okay. Becoming smooth. That's about good for now. Now, I'm gonna put it in this container, but we're gonna put some oil in the container first. An amount of oil, I would say about 1 tablespoon. Okay, and it goes. Now that it's in, I'm also going to get the oil on there. You probably can't see it. Don't worry, I know this looks messy, but okay. Now I'm getting the oil on. Stretch, press, stretch, press, stretch, press. The oil really is bringing this together and making it easier to work with. Okay, and then I'm kind of pinching, pulling, pinching, making a seam, because I really want it smooth and round on top if possible, because I want to trap air inside. This is good enough for now. So this will sit for 15 minutes. We'll come back with wet fingers, stretch, fold, maybe 4 or 5 times, and then come back one more time 15 minutes later, stretch and fold 2 or 4 times, and then it goes into the fridge for 2 days, and you're done. Okay, so that's that one. Put this aside. And the next one, just gonna clean that finger off so I can unlock my laptop. There we go. Let's see, who is watching? I wonder who stopped by. Okay, this is our second dough. Same thing. Repeat the process. Pull, slap, pull, slap, turn, slap. This feels lovely. $1738. That's gonna drive me crazy, whoever typed that. I wonder what it means. This one's strong. Just this one sitting for an extra 5 minutes, I can already tell it's stronger than the first one. So maybe we should have let the first one sit a little bit longer. But we're live, right? So I wanted to have something to show you guys. Okay, this one's already ready. So a little oil into the bowl, 1 tablespoon. Into the bowl. Get this evenly coated with the oil. Nice. Would this be easier with a mixer? Yes, of course. But not all of us can afford a mixer, or if you live in Tokyo, like a lot of my friends, we don't have room for a mixer. There's nowhere to put it. This one's already ready, so okay. Close that up. Second dough. So in however long this live was, 23 minutes, we just made enough pizza dough to feed like 20 people, 25 people this Sunday. All right, well, if you stop by, thanks for coming, and yeah, we'll see you next time.